The legend of Pandora's box goes like this, or at least one version of it. The gods gave the first woman on earth, Pandora, a box and told her not to open it. Being naturally curious, she decided to lift the lid and take a peek inside. Before she realized what was happening, out flew the evils into the world. Violence, hunger, illness, and more. Seeing all the horrible things coming out, she quickly snapped the box shut, but it was too late. All the evil had escaped and was already making its way throughout the earth. The box had been emptied of all its contents, save for one small winged creature which remained inside. When Pandora reopened the box, the tiny creature seemed the weakest, as it flew out slower than the others. But as it took to the air, it became clear that the last creature to be let out was far more powerful than all the evils which had previously escaped. It went around and brought healing to all the wounds inflicted by the other evil creatures. This was because the last thing to come out of Pandora's box was the creature called hope. Though it had at first seemed fragile, hope, in fact, was the strongest being of all. Hope. Hope can be hard to describe, difficult to define. It is used in so many different contexts. Hope you have a nice day. I hope I do well on this exam. Don't give up hope. It is a challenge to precisely articulate what hope is all about. Here on campus, we are used to explaining everything, whether it is a thermodynamic formula or the linguistic structure of Mandarin. As university students, that is basically your job, to explain. Write a 10-page paper on the political system in the Honduras. Prepare a presentation on marketing, a new financial product. Detail the chemical formula for the Buchwald-Hartwig reaction. Yes, I Wikipedia'd that. I still don't know what it is. It is easy to let this attitude carry over into every area of our lives, including our faith, as if we can explain with just more and more words how God works. Lord knows, people have tried over thousands of years, writing endless tomes, attempting to explain divine mysteries like faith, love, and hope. But for all the books scholars have written, God does not come to us in doctrines, nor do we find her through a set of moral arguments. Instead, what we encounter is something much more tangible, something that comes to us in a box. Ultimately, God does not remain an idea, but is born to us as a flesh and blood baby and placed in a box that had been transformed from a manger co-opted from some hungry animals. Now, a baby is about the furthest thing that you can get from theory and dogma. They are too wriggly, noisy, messy, and amazing for anyone to explain. They simply have to be experienced. After Emma, my first child, was born, cleaned up and swaddled tightly into a blanket, she was placed into a clear plastic box in my hospital room. From my bed, I watched her with wonder, the way her tiny hand would automatically grasp my finger, her mouth rooting around for milk, the sheer volume that her little lungs could make. And then there was the mess she made. For those who don't know, newborns excrete an incredible amount of meconium, which is a substance akin to tar, and it is almost impossible to clean up. The best part, though, was when our friends arrived at the hospital. Each one of them would immediately head straight to the box to get their first glimpse. and all their faces looked exactly the same as they laid eyes upon her. They were filled with hope. Babies have a way of eliciting that hard to find notion, hope. There is something about looking at that tiny little face and imagining who she will grow up to become. Built into a baby is the act of looking forward into the future, of dreaming about what is possible. Experiencing a baby is about experiencing hope because of the new life she represents. Babies are the embodiment of hope. And they are absolutely human and touchable. Their little bodies contain an invisible magnet that draws people near to look, touch, and hold them. When one encounters a baby, the response is not to debate, theologize, or rationalize them. It is simply to be there and become awestruck at the astonishing miracle before you. I have seen many of you look at Ben in that way when Niato brings him in. Babies are packaged with an irresistible urge to pick them up and cradle them close to your heart, to wrap your arms around him and breathe his scent deeply in so that you can fully immerse yourself in his presence. In that process of being with this little package, you too are imbued with what he naturally embodies: hope. God comes to us as a tiny baby. Is it any wonder? It is not through theorems or philosophies, the systems of beliefs or moral platitudes. It is through a human being with tiny toes and a squishy body, with actual smiles and messy bodily functions, that God decides to be with us. I don't know about you, but when I am in despair or feeling lost, the doctrine of sin does not cheer me up, nor a philosophical reasoning on why I am loved. What gives me hope are people, real contact with flesh and blood human beings. And it's not just babies, because people of all ages were all once tiny newborns. God chose to be with us as a human through Jesus, reminding us that every person bears the image of God upon them. Hope comes to us in human form, through hugs, shared tears, with a joint struggle to visualize a better tomorrow. When God was born to Mary, we were given revolutionary access to hope, not just an abstract idea, but real, earthy, and tangible hope that we can see, hear, smell, and touch. This is the wonderful gift of Christmas that we receive. Hope in a box. May we all share and embody this gift with one another. Amen.